another show which I think is one of the best on TV, was definitely at the top of our best of list for the first season, is Barry, starring Bill Hader. I think he's like a executive producer and sometimes a director on this as well. Mm-hmm. This show looking at Barry, played by Bill Hader, obviously, who is a hitman who wants to become an actor and get out of the life of being a hitman. Allison Herman of The Ringer, I think, had a very interesting way of summarizing the first season, which is when will is Barry a good person or not, was kind of like the question throughout. And she said that the second season seems to be, when will Barry recognize that he's not a good person, which I think is a pretty interesting question to be underlying the whole season. What'd you take away from the premiere?
Yeah, and I think that conceit right there is important because Barry season 1 ends in such a masterful way that the show as a whole feels like it didn't need to continue, right? Like Barry, spoiler for season 1. I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't seen season 1, but Barry kills Moss at the end, right? And he's like, all right, now I'm going to restart my life now, after he's totally corrupted himself by killing his former military friend and now Moss, two innocent people that didn't deserve to die. You know, he can rationalize it as they're criminals, right? Mm-hmm. And now that Barry is seemingly an irredeemable person, we have to watch more and see like what's going on, right? Is Barry, are they going to try and redeem Barry? Is that where we're going? Mm-hmm. Or are they going to actually stick to the darkness? Because I think ultimately this is a show that has lots of funny moments, but ultimately it's pretty fucking dark, man. Like, yeah, Barry himself is having a tough time, and now with the season 2, Gene and Henry Winkler is also having a tough time, obviously, as his girlfriend was murdered. So it's dark, and it feels like they decided that they wanted to make the second season. So obviously, I trust Hader and Berg's hand with this, and also how can you blame Hader for having his like best role to date? You know, wow, keep it going. I understand, but yeah, where they're ultimately taking it, whether it's Hader realizing he's a bad guy, then whatever happens next, or Hader actually truly becoming a better person. I like to see what happens to Barry. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think the second season really starts to put that question in your mind and just kind of keep it going. But I'm again looking forward to more. I thought I had season 1 as my number 4 show of the year last year, so obviously I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, and the first episode of the season, I think, does a really good job of kind of the question of selfishness is kind of, I feel like, is at the center of it. You know, Barry's trying to hold this acting class together as Henry Winkler's Gene is grieving and doesn't want to hold the class anymore. And, you know, kind of about the things we withhold. Even at the end, Sally, played by Sarah Goldberg, Barry gives this long monologue, very emotional, which maybe we'll talk about in a second, that they actually play out about his first time killing somebody. And Sally's like, oh, I really want to be here for you, but I can't tonight. And actually, I have a thing in the morning, so maybe I can be there for you at like noon tomorrow. And I was like, that is like the most like perfect, I feel like, way to like summarize the whole thing, you know. And maybe one of like the least selfish people in the show, which is Soho Hank, or maybe is it NoHo Hank? Sorry,
yeah,
NoHo
Anthony
Hank.
Garrigan.
Yeah, he's. I mean, I think the surprise breakout of the show. He ends up also kind of like showing his dark side and having to be a little bit selfish in this season as well, at least at the beginning. It's very interesting to see how they're like playing with these themes. And you can kind of see where it's going in terms of like, Stephen Root's character is being held by the police, and it seems like they're going to start getting some leads that Barry is the person that commit these murders in the first season. But just a really, really funny and interesting, and like you said, dark at times thing. I mean, the whole scene about his monologue and then acting it out, I thought was really, really effective in terms of being emotional and just capturing you in that moment.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious to see how they keep NoHo Hank, keep the Bolivians and the Chechenians, and now the Burmese, I guess, too. How do they keep them into the story? Mm-hmm. You know, is Barry going to fall back in somehow? Is NoHo Hank going to make him do something? Seeing how they keep that thread going, I'm curious to see. Also, Sally, doesn't know, obviously, Barry's secret.
Mhm.
I hope they can keep her feeling integral to the plot and don't like short shrift the character if they keep her in the dark a while longer. You know what I'm saying? Because like,
Right.
if Barry's doing all these things, evading the police, doing stuff for no Hank, that's going to feel more important because he's the lead character. And Sally, everything that's with Sally is going to feel irrelevant because she doesn't actually know what's going on. You know, I
Mhm.
feel like that's a trope that happens a lot in shows with some kind of mystery or lying or something like that. So I hope they can keep her going because I really like Sarah Goldberg. I think she's really great, and I think Sally as a character is, even though I think she had her moments up and down with the writing in season one. I think, you know, as someone in LA, and I think we're going to get to see the dark side of her, or at least what troubles her in this season. Judging off what Jean was looking to lead with the class, I hope they can keep her feeling important. But overall, very excited that Barry's back. It's one of, I mean, Barry, Veep, and Game of Thrones, man. And
Yeah.
then once that ends, they have Big Little Lies. HBO's really heating up right now.
Yeah, a Murder's Row for HBO, which is par for the course for them.